I just want to talk about this because this is a topic that makes me frustrated, and this is a topic that cuts through race, through ethnicity, through social class. Women sometimes have this terrible habit of staying and ignoring red flags. And I just want to talk about why women ignore red flags and how we can avoid staying too long in situations that do not serve us. What is the real problem here? Because I feel like it is very easy to blame the men, to say that a man entered a situation and ruined a woman's life. I mean, I'm not saying that the man is an angel, but I would love to have this conversation from a point of accountability to really remind women that you are powerful beings that can make decisions to remove people out of your life or to remove yourself from a person's life. So where does this whole idea of sweeping red flags under the carpet come from? It comes from a scarcity mindset. When you are of the belief that what you have right now is the best that you can ever do, that will make you stay and choose to be in places that do not serve you. You need to believe that wherever you are, you have the potential to expand, to grow, and to try new things. There's more for you out there, regardless of where you are. But when you have a scarcity mindset, that scarcity mindset comes from a place of low self-esteem. That scarcity mindset comes from a place where you feel like you do not deserve better. Why do you have a low self-esteem? Trauma can be something that encourages low self-esteem when you haven't healed from past trauma, when you grew up from a family that didn't nurse your confidence. Okay, these are things that you need to identify in yourself, and you need to focus your energy into healing your trauma. Before you enter any relationship, may you focus all of your energy into healing the trauma and the hurt that you have had in your life. Please, ladies, go down a YouTube rabbit hole and search shadow work. Ask yourself the tough questions to really identify where your pain comes from, whether you've healed the pain, who you need to forgive. If it's possible, go to therapy. Do some journaling every night. Happiness is something that should be self-generated. You should have an engine within you that generates happiness. Happiness is not something that you're going to find from the outside world. As long as you have that perspective and that belief system, thinking that somebody else out there, something out there is going to give you the happiness that you desire, that's when you know that you have some issues within you that you need to address. If you believe that a man or a husband is going to complete your happiness, stay away from relationships. If you feel like a man or a husband is going to fulfill all of these joyful desires, stay away from relationships. No human being with their imperfectness is ever going to be the source of all of your happiness. You need to be happy by yourself. And when somebody comes to you, they need to come correct. Because if you're vibrating on a frequency of happiness, when you can notice red flags that do not vibrate at your frequency, it's very easy to toss that person out because they are making your frequency go down, because you're vibrating on a higher frequency. But if you're vibrating on a lower frequency, when a person comes with a low frequency, even when you see, you can tell that they're red flags, you do not have the proof within you to say that you deserve better. You need to give yourself better first before you expect that from somebody else. Otherwise, you will destroy your life. Please heal from the trauma that you've experienced. I know that I grew up in a very traumatic background. The Christian programming, the Christian doctrine that I grew up in was a bit traumatic. And I had to dismantle that Christian programming of putting the man first, because I need to put myself first. I'm not going to make somebody else responsible for my health. I'm not going to make somebody else responsible for my finances. I'm going to put me first. Because ladies, when you are intimate with these men, you are opening yourself up to health risks. You're opening yourself up to financial risk. You're also opening yourself up to career risk. I'm not going to put a man above me. I'm going to put me first. I'm going to make sure that I'm the healthiest person possible. I'm going to make sure that my financial health is the best. I'm going to make sure that I am healed with my trauma. I'm not going to put somebody else's healing above mine. No. I'm not going to put somebody else's financial health above mine. No. I'm not going to put somebody else's physical health above mine. No. I'm not going to put somebody's spiritual needs and spiritual health above mine. No. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. Ladies, you are so valuable. You are so important. You can be the furnace and the engine of your joy and your happiness because you are blessed. Your life is complete. If you feel like you are not where you are meant to be, you have the resources right now to move you from point A to point B. You might not be at point B, but you have the resources to move you from where you are to where you want to be. That is why practicing gratitude is such a powerful thing, because when you practice gratitude, your sense of awareness to your environment heightens. You can start to see the resources that are able to help you instead of focusing on the things that you don't have. You can start to appreciate the body that you have. Oh my gosh, thank goodness I am an able-bodied, healthy individual. I am healthy. I don't have sickness. It means that tomorrow I can wake up and do what I need to do in order to move my life forward. I have a healthy brain. I have a healthy heart. I have a healthy liver. Before even looking at anything else, I'm looking at I'm like, wow, I can move myself. I can walk. I'm so thankful for this body. This body is going to take me where I need to go. Thank goodness. And then you start to look at everything else. Oh my gosh, I have somewhere to sleep. Oh, I'm so thankful that I have somewhere to sleep. Wow. Thank goodness I have electricity. Thank goodness I have Wi-Fi. I can connect to the internet and look for opportunities to move my life forward. I have the internet and I can educate myself and get the necessary skills to move my life forward. Thank goodness. I have a phone. I can call people. I can talk to people that I want to connect with and build wholesome relationships. Thank goodness. Oh my gosh, I just ate a delicious meal. I am so thankful. This is before you even mention anybody. Ladies, when you genuinely practice gratitude, you realize how much you have. Happiness, joy, contentment are things that you can generate from yourself. The biggest lie that we were sold as women were romantic comedies and Disney movies, because we were convinced that our lives are not complete unless we meet a Prince Charming. Our lives are trash unless we meet a Prince Charming so that we can be a Cinderella. Ladies, do you know where you're going to get your power from? Let me be honest with you. You're going to get your power from practicing discipline, practicing sexual discipline, practicing the discipline of getting to know yourself. Let's start talking about sexual discipline. Since I've been on my celibate journey, it feels like I have woken up from a brain fog. It feels like I can see the reality of the male persona, and I can see the reality of relationships, and I feel like I have a greater excitement for life and for my goals. It's one of the reasons why I started this YouTube channel. This YouTube channel was born during my period of celibacy. And the more I speak on this channel, I believe that this YouTube channel, even if one person listens to it, it will bring good and it will bring change to a lot of women in the world. And it was birthed through celibacy. I would not have had the wisdom, the encouragement, the determination to keep pursuing on this YouTube channel if I was dating. Ain't no way. I know myself. But let's talk about that. Sexual discipline. Ladies, when you engage in being intimate, the risk is much greater for us than it is for the gentleman. The gentleman will want you to have pity on them. If you say no to them, they will want to downplay the importance of protection because, it's just, for us, it's just intimacy. It's just intimacy. That's why we can cheat. It's just intimacy. Yes, it's true. For them, it is. But for us, the cost is 100 times higher, 1,000,000 times higher. And it is not worth it. It is not worth being intimate without protection. It is not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. The moment you make that decision to be intimate with somebody without protection, you have shown that person that you do not have any boundaries when it comes to your future, when it comes to your health, when it comes to your financial health. You are showing that person that you have no boundaries. You're showing that person that you actually don't care about your future. You actually don't care if you're putting yourself at financial risk if you do have a child or you do have an incurable disease. You're showing that person that you have zero boundaries. And when a person has zero boundaries, it means they have zero respect for themselves. But the person you're sleeping with won't tell you that, by you sleeping without protection, it means that you're not respect. They're not going to tell you that because they want to keep doing it. I feel like, especially as someone who works in healthcare, I probably should create a in-depth video about our health as women and how our hormones, how our reproductive systems, how our brains are affected by the interactions that we have with the male species and how those things affect our stress, how those things affect aging, how those things affect brain health. And if I remember, I should do a video about that. But the other discipline that we need to also practice is the discipline of getting to know yourself. Do you even know what your values are? Do you know what you value? And are you making sure that the people you are letting into your body have the same values, or do your values not matter? How much respect do you have for yourself? You are valuable. My goodness. Why are you showing people that you don't respect yourself? You are valuable. The things that matter to you are important. If you don't like it when a person touches you in a specific way, you have every right to say, I don't want to be touched. I don't want to spend an evening with you. I don't want to spend time with you at your place when it's just the two of us. I don't want to do that. I'm at a point, ladies, I'm celibate, like I said. I don't want to spend an evening with a man at his place and it's just the two of us. I don't want to do that because every single time they will see that as an invitation of trying something. And I don't want to be intimate with anyone because I feel so incredible and my pH is feeling good. I don't want that imbalance and I don't want to be fighting a man off of me. I don't want to be having the conversation, period. So as a guy, if your creative juices are not even flowing to say, okay, maybe we can develop an emotional connection. If by me saying that already off the bat you want to run, thank you, you've blessed me. Because now I don't have to deal with that problem anymore. Ladies, why are our boundaries so weak? I hate it. I hate it for us. Anyway, we were talking about values. What you value is extremely important. Do you value family? And by family, like, do you want to have kids? That's important. I don't want to have kids. Miss me. I genuinely don't want to have kids. I don't see any upside to having kids. And I think that majority of the people who want to have kids are people who don't have kids. But the people who have kids, every single time, they're complaining. I've never met a parent who was not tired. I don't want that for my life. I want to enjoy my money. I want all the money to be going to me. I don't care if this makes me sound selfish. I don't give a damn. Because when that money comes into my account and I spend it on the things that I like, when I go to bed and I get my 8 hours of sleep, that feels so good. That feels so good. When I wake up in my stunning apartment and I wake up and everything is still in its place. Ooh, child, listen here. When I can lie on the couch like a potato for 7-8 hours and nobody's disturbing me. Ooh, do you know how good that feels? Oh, you can never guilt trip me. You can never. When I look at my body, my ass is still tight, my stomach is still tight. I don't have any stretch marks on my body. My boobs are still perking, pointing forward because that's where we're going. We're moving forward, love. You can never guilt trip me into having a kid. Like, I've made my decision, okay? So in terms of values, I don't want kids. I have ghosted many men who I think they think it's attractive to talk to women and say, I want to have 5 kids. I think they think that's attractive. I once told a man, I was like, oh, child, you're speaking to the wrong woman. My vagina is not going to go through that. No. And he was very perplexed. Like, oh, what do you mean? Like, the idea of a big family. Like, wow, good for you. Good for you. I hope you find someone. This was on a date, by the way. I was like, I hope you find somebody who can give that to you because it's not going to be me. I am not going to do that. It sounds tiring. No. And he thought I was kidding. I didn't even block him. I just stopped talking to him because I am not going to let people not get the blessings that they want. I am not going to let a guy try to think that I'm going to change my mind. That's not going to happen. So that's my value. Do you see how convinced I am with my value? And because of that value inspires a boundary. Ladies, please, as you journal, instead of journaling about this happened today, this is how I feel, jot down the things that you care about. Do you care about communication? Do you care whether or not a man watches porn? For me, if a man watches porn, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't really bother me. But is it something that makes you mad? Okay. And because that's something that you value, what are the things that are going to happen if you find a person or a man that you're dating who is violating the things that you value? What are the necessary steps? Write them down. The thing that a lot of women do is that, yes, they can know the things that they value, the things that are important to them, but they don't have any clue of the actions that they're going to take when people violate their values/boundaries. I am the example. I say I don't want children. If I can hear in the first few days that this man wants kids, I'm going to stop contacting them, and I am not going to make it my life's mission to change anybody. I am not going to make somebody change their desires for me. It's going to be hell because I know that if I get myself in a situation, I don't want kids and that person wants kids, I should not be surprised if one day a condom has a hole in it, okay? I'm not like, I can see the stress and I'm not signing up for that. For the things that you value, what are the actions that you are going to take if you encounter somebody violating the values or not agreeing with your values? Are your values that important that you stop contact with them? Or is that value a value that you can bend where you're like, nah, this is a strike? For me, important value again is communication. I need to believe the things that you're saying. If you're saying, let's meet at Saturday, and then Saturday passes and goes and you haven't even apologized for maybe forgetting our appointment, for me, that's a red flag. I can't trust you because my time on earth is important too. And there are a lot of men who feel like the time of a woman is not important. So they are surprised when you won't give up 3 years of your life for them or 5 years of your life for their pursuits. No. For me, my life on this earth, very important. All the days that are on this earth that I have been given, very important. I'm not going to be wasting 3 years, 5 years, 10 years for any guy. Every minute is spent purposefully, with direction, with intention, all right? If there's no direction or intention, I am out, because I have direction and intention in my own life. I'm not going to hop onto a boat that has no direction or intention. My life is very valuable. Every second counts, because I don't know when these seconds are going to end, okay? I'm very aware of that. That's what I value. But ladies, in your journal, when you write down your values, write down the actions that you will take if somebody violates your values. And sometimes, especially if you're new to this topic, you may have 2 or 3 values that you have, but sometimes these values make themselves aware over time, because you will notice the things that you value by the things that irritate you if those values are not being fulfilled. You will start having common annoyances, and you will maybe be annoyed by the fact that a person is late. Maybe people being late is something that annoys you. It's an indicator that you value your time and being on time. It's a form of respect for you, okay? So sometimes these values just show themselves through what annoys you, what continuously irritates you, the kind of standard that you wish people were living up to. That's also kind of reflective of your own value. Ladies, on this channel here, we don't change men, right? When somebody does not have a value that you have, don't be an educator or a lecturer or a professor trying to educate this person to value the things that you value. Don't do that. Go find somebody else who has the same values as you and go have a good life. But the problem that I see a lot of women doing is that they settle with people who don't share the same values as them, and then they make it their life's mission. The time on this earth, they spend it trying to be a lecturer and a professor to educate somebody who does not give a damn about the things that you care about. And then you are mad when they continually violate or disrespect you because they don't care about the things that you care about. I genuinely believe that a red flag is just a violation of the things that you value. What will be a red flag for me is not going to be a red flag for you. For you, a red flag will be a guy watching porn. For me, it's not a red flag. I don't give a damn, right? So yes, we will judge people by the red flags that they tolerate, because there are some red flags like being hit, okay, being kicked, being shot at. Those are very obvious red flags, but there are milder red flags where we both won't have the same red flags. So don't look at my story and try to make it your own. You are on your own life path. Ladies, whether you are in a relationship or not, you are valuable. Don't let these people lie to you. Don't let society lie to you. Don't let your parents, your in-laws, not even in-laws, your parents, your grandmother, don't let those people, don't let anyone try to tell you how valuable and how worthy you are. That definition and that standard needs to come from you. What another person thinks of you should be worth a rat's ass. What another person thinks of you should not matter 100%. What other people are going to say when you're single should not matter. It doesn't matter. What other people think of you when you are in a relationship, it doesn't matter. Whether you're in a relationship or you're single, it doesn't increase your worth or your value. Your value remains the same. I'm sorry, because I don't want us to get into this mistake where you think that you are more valuable now that you're married. No, by having that mindset, you're putting yourself in a lot of trouble, because you're going to tolerate a lot of crap, because you're going to believe that just because you're in this institution, now your worth is more in the world. No, babes, it's the same. Your worth is the same as a single person. It's the same. You're still paying tax. It's the same. We still breathing the same air. You're still pooping. Did you stop pooping now that you are married? No, you didn't. You actually have more work, so you actually may probably sleeping less. So probably technically, you might be worth a little less. Okay, I'm joking. But what I'm saying is that your relationship status should not be tied to your worth. Ladies, don't let these men lie to you. Don't let these men make you feel pity for them. You're not their mother. You're not their savior. You're not their teacher. What you should be seeking in this world is pleasure, having a great life, being happy. If anybody comes into your space and disrupts that mission, they should go. This really makes me mad, because I look at situations and I'm like, ladies, why are you staying? Are you staying because you're allowing somebody to make you believe that you're not worth, that somebody else is not going to find you attractive? That is why in this channel, I speak about always making sure that you are taking care of yourself, feeding your privileges. Don't ever let yourself go. If a person is with you, they need to have a nervousness deep inside their soul to know that once you walk out of there, somebody's going to snatch you up. Ladies, the self-respect that we need to have, it needs to be on another level. Drink your water, exercise, eat well, feel good from the inside. Because when you feel good from the inside, when you know that you're doing the things that are necessary to take care of you, if somebody tries to do something or say something that is not matching that vibration, it's very easy to identify it, one, and to say that no, I don't want this in my life anymore. It doesn't align to what I am doing to me. Ladies, if we don't treat ourselves with self-love, how can we expect it from other people? Give yourself a limit. When somebody violates your values, when somebody disrupts your values, I personally would say leave because we're not in the business of changing people, all right? I would say, sure, if the violation is not extreme, like you're not being hit, okay? I'm not talking about that. If somebody hits you, don't even fight it. Don't even argue. The first moment that you can get, leave that mother effer. That is not even a conversation. Girl, if you stay and that person is hitting you, girl, where's the self-love? Ladies, get your money right. Get your bodies right. Always be fit. Always be beautiful. Don't let anybody try to convince you that you're less than what you are. Your words should matter. Your actions should say everything that needs to be said about how you value yourself, how much you value yourself. If you're that girlie always eating nice, you're telling everybody that I respect myself. If you're that girlie who's always exercising, drinking that water, taking supplements, you are giving everybody the silent message that you respect yourself. You're that girlie always studying, getting degrees, getting certificates. You're telling the world without even raising your voice, without even opening your mouth, that you respect yourself. If somebody doesn't come at the vibration that you're vibrating on, baby, they're gonna pull you down. You don't need that. You don't need that. As I was saying, when a boundary or violation is disrespected, I would say 3-point strike. Strike one, you communicate the boundary, because this is a new person in your life. This is a person who has their own life experiences. You have your own life experiences, okay? You communicate that, hey, I really value communication. If you're saying that you're going to be here and you can't make it, please tell me at least 2-3 hours before so that I can move accordingly. But don't do this thing of having silent treatment, because it makes me feel unappreciated. And when people communicate in 2-3 hours in advance, if they can't make it, it makes me feel like they appreciate my time. Done. Don't have to say it again. I think you've covered everything. If it's done again, you mentioned that, hey, we've had this conversation before, I'm not going to have it again, right? If they do it again, you don't even have to talk about it because they've completed all 3 strikes. It's time for you to bounce. Girl, the moment you stay after strike 3, you have no right to complain when that person keeps violating your boundary. You don't have a right to cry. Don't come here and cry, because that person already showed you who they are. They already showed you what they consider important, and definitely what is not important is you and the things that you value. But hey, you're still entertaining them. So anything that comes after that, you actually invited it into your life because it knocked 3 times and you opened the door. Ladies, we need to live in a place of abundance. You know, when you live in a space of having an abundance mindset, you believe that the world is your oyster, that there's so much out there for you to still enjoy, to still experience. This man who's in your life, you're going to meet another one. It might not be tomorrow, it might not be next week, but you're going to meet another one, because you are always expanding, always educating yourself, always improving yourself. Of course, you're going to meet somebody else. And even if you don't, you are happy within yourself. Because you're blessed. You have an able body, you have a healthy body, you have a roof over your head, you have food, you have, this job, whatever interest that you have a community, or you live in a great place, or you have wonderful parents. You are still blessed, my love. You're still blessed. There's so many things out there that you haven't seen yet. Don't limit yourself by choosing things that don't serve your soul. Choose the things that enrich your soul, that feed your soul, that make you feel good, that make you want to do more, that empowers you, that inspires you, that energizes you. This is what we're meant to do in this life. But the moment you feel like you can't, that means you've sunk down into scarcity mindset. And once you're in the scarcity mindset, there's no way that you're going to grow and you're going to expand. Ladies, red flags are not jokes. When you don't pay attention to the red flags and you let them slide, it's going to take a knock on your mental health. It's going to take a knock on your self-esteem. It's going to take a knock on your confidence. It's not worth the trade-off. Just to say, oh yeah, we've been dating for 6 years. It's not worth the trade-off, girl. Your life, the things that you value, your health, your mental health, your confidence, your self-worth, they're very important. You are important. And we need you, okay? We need you in this earth. We need you to be at your best, to feel the best, to be at your happiest. We need you to be like that. Too many ladies lose their lives because they chose not to look at red flags. And that makes me so sad. And ladies, may the men who have hectic red flags, may they stay single. May they never see a cookie ever in their lives. They don't deserve the cookie. Ladies, don't be afraid to leave these men. Don't be afraid to leave them alone in the dark, in the street. No matter how loud they shout, leave them if they bring you harm, if they destabilize your pH. I know you guys stay with them even though they destabilize your pH. I know you do. So, yeah. But on a more serious note, if they threaten your life, ladies, don't stay. What the hell? You are valuable. If you feel like there's trauma that you need to heal, you will do yourself more good by healing that trauma than by being with any man in any relationship. Once you heal that trauma, you release the shackles in your heart, you release the unforgiveness, you release the darkness. You figure out what triggers you. What is that hurt that is the root of your insecurity? Once you can get to that place where you uproot the hold that the trauma has on you, you will be your most radiant and confident self. You will glow from the inside. And that is nothing a person could ever give you. No relationship can ever do that for you. And do you know what happens once you uproot that and you become a more confident person? When you're a more confident person and your belief system is more confident, how you speak to yourself is going to change. So you're not going to see yourself as a lesser version of yourself. Once your belief system changes, how you act is going to change. So the decisions that you're going to make are going to come from a more confident place. Once that happens, guess what? When your actions coming from a confident place and a positive place, you are in the act of changing your life. You can't expect a man who is not in touch with their emotions to do that for you. A man who doesn't know you. You've known yourself ever since you were born. It's your responsibility to heal the hurt that is inside of you. It is not the responsibility of somebody else. You can't make somebody else a band-aid over your own pain. You are only delaying the healing that you should be getting. And when you delay healing, you are making yourself be a victim to more hurt. Ladies, there are ways to gain more confidence, to heal your trauma. Multiple ways. If you can afford it, get a therapist. If you can't afford it, I would say talk to ChatGPT I don't know which ChatGPT version is going to be out when you listen to this, but ChatGPT can be a free therapist while you're on your way to getting a proper therapist who is qualified in the type of trauma experiences that you have. You can even ask ChatGPT and say, if I'm a woman of 1, 2, 3 and I've gone through 1, 2, 3 and I have feelings like 1, 2, 3 and these are my insecurities, what kind of therapist should I go to? What does that therapist have to be specialized in? You can start there. And then you can actively look for that therapist. Or if you don't have the budget right now, you can tell ChatGPT and say, hey, okay, so this qualification that you stated, imagine we are role playing and you are a therapist qualified in this qualification and I am your patient and we are in a session. Can we have a dialogue? ChatGPT is never going to say no. Ladies, I'm just going to end it off right here. I'm just so tired of seeing women dating, getting married into situations where the red flags were very blatant. And I believe that the two reasons why women stay in those places, well, 2.5 reasons. The first one is that women don't understand their values. They don't know what their values are and they don't know what to do once their values are violated. That's the first one. Number 2, women don't have a sense of self-worth. And the half, or which is point number 3, a bonus point, is that women care too much about what other people are going to say and what other people are going to think. And you know what? People don't give a damn. When was the last time you were thinking about another person today? People are always thinking about themselves. This idea that what are people going to say, it's false. It doesn't happen. People don't give a damn about you. People are too focused in their lives. They're too focused on their bank accounts. They're too focused on their health. They're too focused on their jobs to even think about you. They're too focused on their families. They have no space to even be thinking about what is this girl doing with her 5-year relationship. People don't give a damn. And the people who do give a damn don't have lives. So they're not the people that you want to give a damn in the first place. So ladies, I want to say that if a person sees red flags in a relationship and they continue, my level of sympathy for them goes down. So if something happens to them, my level of sympathy is going to be at 0.5. The sympathy will be there, but it won't be there. Especially if I make content like this and you listen to this and you continue to proceed, even though 3 strikes were up and you're seeing the red flag being violated for the 7th time and you still continue. My level of sympathy for you, I'm so sorry. If you do care what other people think, other people are going to think you're an idiot. We don't look at somebody who sees red flags and be like, oh my gosh, that is a genius. Ladies, your life is important, your values are important, your goals are important, your body is important, your financial health is important, you are important. May you please treat yourself as such. May you please value this vessel that you've been created. May you value your mind. May you value your peace. All of these men are saying that they want peace. I want peace too. We also deserve peace. With that, ladies, see you at the next one.